Hey, it's Farmer Floyd here at Floyd's Family Farm, and today we're going to be talking about setting eggs in the incubator. We're getting them ready to hatch. The incubator that I have is the GQF Sportsman 1502. But when you get the incubator, it comes with this water reservoir system for your humidity. This determines how much your humidity is going to be inside the incubator, depending on how much water you put in it. This system here, you would have to do it by hand, put water in there. And what I did is I upgraded to the 3030 automatic water reservoir system, which is a 5-gallon bucket with a hose hooked up that automatically feeds water into the incubator, where you don't really have to worry about it. And when you get on lockdown, which is day 18, that's when you do not want to open up the incubator. We'll get into that in a second. You do not want to be opening it up, have to put water in it, and your humidity does need to be higher than what it usually is. But one of the things I do when I first set the eggs in is, since we're down here in the south, our humidity is pretty high. So I take a piece of aluminum foil and I cover at least this much up with the water reservoir system. And that keeps me around 45 to 55% humidity. 45 to 55% humidity, that's correct. Now, on day 18, after you have your egg set in, on day 18, what you'll do is you'll take this moisture wick and you'll put it in right here. And that'll draw water up, and as the fan hits the water, it creates more humidity, because after day 18, you want your humidity to go up to 55 to 65%. But I still keep this covered up right here. It just works for me. That don't mean it will work for you. But I do recommend the 3030 automatic water and reservoir system. It's just a real big help. This also comes with some great instructions. I mean, just a nice little book that has every little detail you need in here. A lot of things I always go back to this if I have any questions. I try to write things down in a little notebook, how I do it. These are the hatching trays that you have to order separate. This right here is for quail eggs, and I've used these. I have the quail, the pheasant, and the chicken. And when you order them, I think they're around 30 bucks, somewhere in there. You'll get 6 of them, and this thing will hatch out 250 chickens, and I think 1,300 quail. So, I mean, this is a pretty good system, and it's a really good incubator. I mean, the way I've got it set up, it's just kind of set it and forget it. Next thing, it's really a set it and forget it kind of system. Next thing you know, it's like day 18. You say, hey, I got to put the eggs on lockdown, man. It's already, you know. And when you go to put them on lockdown, what you'll have, and it will come with this too, is a tray to set your eggs in. It's got to be cleaned out, excuse me, please. This was what you'll set your eggs in. And what I recommend you do is buy some, I had some here a while ago, is buy some little cardboard paper like you would use for painting, go around the border of the house. Put that in there. It's going to be easier for you to clean it out. And then you want to cut this out in here and put that in there. The reason you want to do that is because you want them chicks to have traction. If you don't do that, they're not going to have any traction, and it's going to cause them to get what they call sprawled legs. Anyways, their legs will be all split. It's kind of like they're doing splits, and it's just terrible to watch a chick go through that. You have to cool it, and they'll never make it. I mean, if they do, it's just going to be a horrible life for them. Another thing I'd recommend that you buy is a hydrometer. Now, the hydrometer is going to tell you your humidity. Yes, the digital screen does do it, but I always like to have 2 or 3 different things so I can kind of estimate, okay, what is it really at? Now, another thing that I would recommend you buy is a eggometer. It is an egg that will tell you your temperature on it. And you can set alarms and all kind of stuff with that, so you can know what's going on throughout the day. You can check that. I'll show you the eggometer here in a little bit. But let's go ahead, show you what's inside the incubator. Let's get the eggs ready and let's get them in there. And then 21 days from now, we'll have baby chicks. Okay, here is the digital command center. And this here is your power button. You want to turn this incubator on for a full 24 hours before you set the eggs inside the incubator. This button here is to cool it down. You'll hold it and you can be able to control your temperature here. it cycles through. So let's see. It's at 52% humidity. It'll turn every 2 hours. It's at 99.6. I have it set at 99.7. Okay. You hold this down to cool it down. You hold that down to warm it up. This will be a manual button that will control the automatic turner, so you can stop it and put the eggs in or take them out. This is automatic. Now, there's different ways. The instructions will tell you how to set up the automatic, how many hours it'll turn. I like for them to turn every 2 hours. But you just mash this auto button, and now it'll automatically turn every 2 hours. That will make it turn. Okay, now it'll stay where I've got it at until I mash the automatic button again. So, this is the digital command center. Let's take a look inside. Okay, here's the automatic watering system. You see how I have the aluminum foil back to this tab here. That ain't good. This is one thermometer that I have in here. This is from GQF. It is a thermometer and a hydrometer. Eggometer. Looks like an egg. It's a ceramic egg with sensors inside of it. And there's different things you can set up. So this is inside the incubator. Here's the automatic turn. When you go to set the eggs or whatever, you can turn it back different ways. This thing is pretty far back there, so it looks narrow, but it's pretty long. Okay, now we're ready to put our eggs inside the setting tray. When putting them in the setting tray, you always want to put them pointy side down. Now these eggs have been down here in the basement. I started collecting them on Sunday. Today is Thursday. We got 30 of them. The reason I've not had them in the refrigerator is because you don't want to get them too cold. The reason I've not had them upstairs is I don't want to get them too hot during the day. You want to keep them around 65, 70 degrees, I believe. You might want to Google that, but I think I'm correct there. So you want to put these in pointy side down. So let's get these eggs in here and let's get them set in the incubator. Okay, I got it pretty straight. Now I'm going to open the door. Slide them in. Into about the middle. Now I'm going to shut the door. Okay, now the last thing you want to do, or you can do it first, it doesn't really matter, because I already have water in here. You want to use distilled water when putting water in your incubator, because if you don't, it's kind of like scaly stuff. It's weird, but if you don't use distilled water, that'll be in your incubator. It's hard to clean. It's be in your water reservoir system, and it's just, man, it is a pain to clean out. It's in there. It's I don't know what it's, lime deposit. I don't know what it is. So. But if you know what that is, hey, leave a comment. So we're going to put some distilled water in here. And this stuff's cheap anyways. I forget how much it is. It's very cheap for a gallon of it. So. That's good enough for a few days. I'll tell you what. That way, I don't have to constantly be looking at it. Yeah, I used tap water the first time and I didn't know what that was in there. It was, man, it's a pain to clean out. So I read you need to use distilled water, which was in my instructions, I do believe. And we've not had that big mess ever since then. And I always put the lid on it because this helps keep your water in there. You don't have to snap it on there or anything, just kind of set it on there. And then we'll check back at them and we'll candle a few eggs, and I'll let you know what day we're going to do that. But another important thing is you just put them in today. You don't count today as day 1. You count today as day 0. You wait a full 24 hours before you start counting day 1. So tomorrow about this time, that will be day 1. So you don't count the day you put them in. I've seen that mistake happen. As a matter of fact, I made that mistake once. When I had my regular little Chinese cheap plastic incubator thing. It worked. I still got it, but I wanted this, and I thought that, you know, this would be great. And you had to babysit that thing. It was every day. You check your humidity, this and that and the other. I did that with the first hatch out with these, but they did so well that I was like, okay, yeah, you know, I paid good money for this machine. It better work, you know. And then when I realized, you know, hey, it is what they say it is. So I'm very happy with it. I'd like to get a hatcher soon. But we'll check back in a few days and we'll candle them. And then day 18, we'll put them on lockdown. And then day 21, they'll hatch. If not, day 19 or 20. I've had them hatch different days, but that depends on how high you got your temperature set. I went down a little bit. I usually set this in at 99.8 because you want it to be at least 99.5. That's the minimum. But according to my other thermometers, I was running at about 100. And they were hatching early, which I guess is not a problem, but maybe it's 21 days for a reason. Maybe, you know, maybe the good Lord wanted them to hatch out in 21 days, and that's how it's supposed to work out, and I might have a better hatch rate. So we'll just tinker with it and figure it out. But this is something I really like doing, and my wife loves it when the chicks hatch. So we'll check back and we'll do some candling here in a few days. Today, we're candling eggs. Now, when to candle the eggs will be from 6 to 8 days from the first day that you put the eggs in the incubator. But remember, don't count the first day that you put them in as day 1. You count that as day 0. You wait a full 24 hours, and then you count that as day 1. So you'll do that 6 to 8 days from then, unless you have darker eggs, which I have some darker eggs, so I did it on day 10. You will have to candle the eggs again, which will be a week from the first time you count them, to make sure that the eggs are further developing. Now, what you're going to need is a LED flashlight and a little cap thing to go on top onto the flashlight. And this device puts the egg on here perfectly so that you can see what's going on inside of the egg. Now, you can get this online. I actually got this with my first incubator that I bought. It was an Artisan, I believe, was the name brand. It's one of those plastic ones you see through in yellow, and it was a pretty good incubator. It did okay, but you had to babysit it a lot. But with the GQF, it's kind of a set it and forget it type deal, except for you don't want to forget it because there are stages you have to go through. But let's go ahead and get the eggs out of the incubator and let's candle them.